Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is going to be a first look and preview of Wretched Space. A Wretched Space is obviously a space-based RPG that is put out by the Red Room. It is an OSR title, and I'll go into describing what that looks like and why it's important. And it is now available on DriveThruRPG and other locations as well. In hardcover, it's also available on Lulu, and I believe it's also available on Big Geek Emporium. So if after watching this video you feel like picking it up at any one of those locations, but right now on DriveThru I have an affiliate tag, so that if you go through the affiliate tag, then if you do purchase it from there, I get a little bit of a kickback. And what I do with that kickback is I use that to buy additional content for the channel, which this is an example. So I have put in my order for the hardcover and the, along with the PDF, they're bundled up. It was $22 for, plus shipping and handling, like $4 for shipping and handling and tax and all that. So for really under $26 or so, hardcover book, along with a PDF, and you will see that it's a pretty extensive hardcover book. It's well over 200 pages long, and so for that price point, that's the kind of thing that you find within the OSR. You find reasonably priced, even in physical copies, almost always bundled with a PDF as well for the same price, and you get a full game system and just a full expression of whatever theme they tend to focus on. Usually, you'll find game systems that are all bundled up in just one volume, which is another thing that I really think that the OSR should get more credit for. The fact that you can go out there and you can buy just one book and you have everything you need in order to play that game. So without further ado, let's start taking a look at Wretched Space. So as I said, it came along with the purchase of the hardcover, and as you can see, it's 240 pages. So really quite extensive for a $22 purchase. So the credits, it's written by Miguel Ribeiro, Joe Coombs, Sylvia Clemente, AI art generated by Midjourney. And that's something else that's been I've been noticing. More have been using AI art, and I know there's some that complain about that, and there's others. I really don't care as a consumer. I just like the fact that the art looks good. So the contents is character creation, character class and tables, skills, combat, adversaries, gear and augments, vehicle and space combat. So I'm really looking forward to focusing on the vehicle and space combat, because that's something that I've seen that other very large productions, that didn't cover that. I mean, they had a space-based game system or a space-based supplement without space combat. So I'm glad to see that they at least have this here. And like I said, I am looking through this for the first time along with you. So, looking forward to seeing how much detail they actually go into. Then there are psionics. I'm not a big fan of psionics. Magic and the supernatural, the Wretched Legion, world building, plot hooks, and the character sheet. So we start off with the OGL, and that's your first indicator that this is an OSR title when they have to utilize the OGL. Part 1, introduction and character creation. Now what I will do is I will do a separate video on actually creating a character And that'll probably be the very next video that I do, and then we'll start taking a look at other components of the game. But they always have nice layouts and everything. The Red Room does a very good job. This is very clear, easy to read. I'm not quite sure which font this is. Really cool art. Here's another thing that they do with a lot of their games. All right, they include the filmography. All right, so very brief filmography. So they show you the various inspiration points that you can get from watching, watching these videos, movies, and many of them are old movies. I mean, you see here 1924, 1965, all through the 60s. Some things in the 70s. Going on further, further through the 70s, and all the way up. Let's see what's the most modern movie they put up here. 1999. All right. Yeah. So 1999. So they used their inspiration all the way up through to, basically just before 2000. So very cool. And that's going to tell you a lot about the tone, I think. It's going to have that old school feel if it's built on inspiration from old school movies or from classic movies. So let's see what else we have. Character creation. Like I said, I'm going to go into much more detail. It uses, later on, it uses the roll 3d6 for each ability score. Consider adding comeliness if you wish to. And that's it. Does it say place in order? It doesn't say. Wretched space character creation improvement is capped at 14th level, as it was in Wretched Bastards. Even though the Wretched shouldn't be too powerful, there are more opportunity for development than in previous games such as Wretched Ploitation and Wretched Epoch. Oh, can't talk. All right, like I said, I am going to go through Sinful Wretches, 7 transgressions. So these act like alignments, I believe. So wrath, greed, sloth, pride, lust, envy, and gluttony. So they almost act like alignments, and that kind of is like your character's kind of leaning, let's say. We go into abilities, bonus penalties. I'll just look at the layout and everything. So very, very clear to see information, bonuses and penalties, intelligence scores and language, and how does that relate to your ability to read or the ability to know a language. So pretty cool stuff. Let's see, retainer tables, the number of retainers you have based on your charisma and their morale base. All right, so fairly simple stuff. The races, let's see what races we have. So we have the Adityan, they look like they're magic based. Like I said, I'm looking through the first time. Androids. Dulfar. Pretty cool looking. Gustora. Humans. I don't know if this is Gulfar or Gustora. Maybe this is Dulfar, and this might be Gustora. Humans. This is a Jagarni. Clarish or Green Men. The Ferrat or Ferrat. Dog people. Serafani. This looks like a Sanji, known as Centaurian. So, all right, so I'm going to say, so they have centaurs. Space centaurs, that's kind of interesting. So classes, we have various classes here. We go through perks, I guess, for classes and archetypes and such. So we have assassins. We have the cyborg, transhuman class, common citizen class, conjurer shaman. That is an optional class. An investigator, a bounty hunter, a cop, an FSAA agent archetype, private eye archetype, a reporter. It's interesting. It's an interesting combination of combat and non-combat mixed in there. So Man of Action is a class. Then I guess the breakdown of Men of Action are gunslingers, street samurai. So it looks like a little mix of cyberpunk as well. War veterans. You have the pilot class. And let's see what we have. The proselytizer class, which you have cult leaders as an archetype within that. Politician is within that. Psionics is a class. Rogue is a class. Let's see what kind of rogues we have here. We have the Patrician Rebel. We have the Femme Fatale. Smuggler Trader. That's probably where I will go with. That's my favorite in my favorite class or subclass or archetype is. So let's see. Let's see if they have. It is an archetype, so it falls within a class breakdown. So yeah, that's my favorite in sci-fi, is to play smugglers. All right, let's move on. So character class tables. And so we have XP values for each. Hit die, D6s, D8s, D4s. D6s again, D8s, D6s, more D4s. Psionics get D4s. Rogues get D6s. So I haven't seen any D10s yet. Although it looks like they start, like a scholar starts with a D6 at first level. Oh, they do that across the board. So they do start first level a little bit higher, I guess, except for Psionics. Many of them, like pilots, start with a D. Oh, they're D6 all the way through. Is this ship? No, not yet. So defenses, perks. Like I said, I am going to go in much more detail. I'm just flipping through. Age modifiers. Skill list. So variety of skills: academics, acting, acrobats, animal training. Let's see what else we have here. We have pilot, we have quick draw, we have riding, rifles, streetwise, survival. I'm just jumping around. Gunnery, hackery, or hacking, intimidation, investigation. Using skills. Very simple. You don't have to roll DC, so difficulty class. I personally like using target number as a way to describe it, but that's fine. Mental skills. Okay. Let's keep on going. I like the art and the layout. So perks and drawbacks. I guess every character has a perk and a drawback, or possibly several based on class or archetype that they choose. The drawbacks list. Again, we'll go into much more detail later. Experience. So it looks like you level up pretty quickly. Although maybe not. You probably only earn a couple of experience points per adventure, perhaps. So it's going to be relative. If a character acted selfishly, honor no one, to get 50 experience points. Wow, that'll move you up quite a number of levels. Remember, it's all based on the Wretched system, so you're supposed to be not nice. So thou shalt kill. Killing for reward is nothing new for character in a role-playing game, as is customary from enemies, is to use their hit dice or level. So you gain points based on their hit die or level when you kill them. So you'd have to kill 15 one hit die creatures in order to go from, or actually 10 in order to go from, no, this is killing things, sorry. Level 1 will give you 15 hit points. Okay. I misread that. See, this is what happens when you misread things. This is a flip through. So that system of giving you hit experience points based on what you kill, much more simple. You're just using the hit die as the measure, so it makes it a lot easier just to calculate up. So weapons, very, very simple. Damage, range, ammo. You don't need more than that. Rate of fire for certain projectile weapons. So by looking at equipment now, I'm going to move forward a little bit. And see, now I've only gone through 100 pages so far. I mean, you can see how much is just crammed in here. There's a lot of detail. Critical hit table. Unarmed roll 2d6. So you roll a natural 20 or deliver an attack to specific body part location that requires a -3 penalty to the attack roll. The attacking character accomplishes a precise roll labeled a critical hit. Dealing a critical hit has a secondary effect besides the regular damage. I'll do a video on combat, then we can go into that, but it looks like there's a lot of detail just with the different types of weapons or attacks to different types of critical hits, which I like. That's pretty cool. Part 3, the adversaries. So we have a number of beasts. Let's see how many pages. 1, 2, 3 sentient foes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 pages of foes. More gear and augments. Let's see. I'll stop every once in a while. Antitoxin nanorobots or Bionet Knights. Cool. Yeah, so you can either equip your character or give your character advancements, I guess, like implants and such. Vehicle and space combat. Let's see what we're looking at here. I'm going to go in much more detail on this section because I'm most interested in it. Hit location. Here's another thing I always like to kind of harp on. If the hull, which makes sense, is going to be a 1 to 10, then putting it on the average portion of the die roll is a better way to include it. So if you're going to do 10 points, I would do it from a 6 to a 15 is the roll for hull. And then you would have harder to hit locations like, you know, like fuel is only a 1. So that would be a 1. Engine hyperdrive would be a 20. Then you would separate some of the other ones, around different parts. But if you're going to have 1 to 10 as the hull hit, then make that somewhere in the average of the of the die roll. Like put it in the middle. That way, if you roll 1,000 times, you're going to hit the hull on average, 50% of the time. It's not a direct, well, it's a 50-50 like a coin flip, just because you put 1 to 10 and everything else falls, thereafter. So anyway, just a little rant. Some cool looking ship models. Heavy freighters, frigates, cruisers, battleships, customizing spaceship. All right, so that's cool that they included that here as well. So you can customize your own ship. I'm assuming adding your own weapons and such. So pretty cool. Psionics. I still have 80 pages to go. Talking about magic. First level rituals for charm person. Okay. Oh, so the clerics, let's say, have rituals. That's cool. Pretty crazy looking stuff. Shaman magic. Part 3, the Wretched Legion in a nutshell. Alright, political background. The Galactic Federation, an ancient and profoundly corrupt institution led by councils and senators from each planet. And world building. So they really have everything in here. They have everything that you would need in just one book, which is awesome. I mean, just tons of world building, tables and such. Some basic items. I noticed the Bradbury cluster, so they have star systems, and I'm assuming naming them the Heinlein sector, so you can see they're using famous authors as part of their naming, which is pretty cool. And we should be coming close to plot hooks, so just making You can randomly generate these, I guess, or you can just pick these little plot hooks here. Give quite a few of them, actually 20. Cargo transport jobs role, cool. Yeah, so random generated adventures under certain plot titles. Carousing events. I have quite a few of them. NPC name generator. Alien names. And we get to the character sheet. Now what I noticed about the character sheet is, so you just fill in this basic information here. They have all of the skills listed. So I guess you could just simply put a check mark, or I might even highlight it. I would just highlight the skills my character has. And that way if they pick up skills later on, you just highlight new lines. And that's it. So pretty simple character sheet. Player name, character name, class, archetype. These six or seven, because they add comeliness here, if you wish to use it. Level, defense, which is basically AC, hit points. What skills they have. Then you can experience points, money, what psionics or rituals that they can have, their perks and drawbacks, their weapons and armor, and that's it. That's all you need. So very, very simple character sheet. And there you have it. So as you can see, I mean, 240 pages. The first look and preview of it. I will go into character building next, and then I will take a look at the combat system and how that functions. I definitely want to dig into spaceships and both ship to ship combat and building your own ship or modifying your own ship. So those will be the videos that I do after this, digging further and further into it. Once I get my hardcover, I don't know when I should get that, probably within 2 weeks or so. It really depends when you order print on demand from drive-through. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but looks really, really cool. So I'm very excited about it. I will do some deeper reading in it, and then the next video of this will probably come up over the weekend or by Monday, and then we will go and wrap this whole thing up probably in about 4 videos I'm planning. So once again, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video. Take a look at their other stuff. I mean, the Red Room, both Miguel and Sylvia and Joe, and other writers that they sometimes work with as well. I mean, they are churning out stuff like crazy. So take a look at all the things. They have a certain aesthetic, a certain way of looking at things, and innovative. And you see stuff coming out of the OSR like this that you really don't see coming out of the major publishers. So if you're looking for things that are a little bit different, a little bit edgier, or in some cases a lot edgier, darker, just grittier, however you want to, whatever adjective you want to use that is anything beyond vanilla, then the OSR and independent publishers are where you're going to have to go to get those things. They use the same systems in most cases. They're using the OSR, they're using old school systems, they're using the OGL, but they're just doing such radically different and interesting things with that you really should give it a look at. And like I said, a game system that you can get all in one volume is something that I think the OSR, and some independent publishers don't get enough credit for. I think that's a major selling point, and it really does open up the hobby to individuals that they don't have the wherewithal, perhaps, of spending $160 to get three, to get the 3 books needed in order to run the game. Instead, you spend $22 like I did here, and you have a complete system that you can do everything from creating your character to world building to adventure, design and everything else in between. That's just amazing. So once again, I hope you liked this video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. If you please share this video. I don't often tell you to share things, but please share this video to get the word out, because the Red Room is really producing a lot of really cool stuff. And so and then visit DriveThruRPG or any of those other sites to pick it up. But like I said, if you go through the affiliate link in the description of this video, then I'll get a little bit of a kickback, and then I always take that money that I earn on that site and I turn it right around and make purchases like this to bring you content and also to support the the authors and artists that are putting these really cool titles together. So again, thanks for joining. Enjoy. It's Friday, so enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. Have a great day.